Properties of rational exponents. So we're going to write on the top the rule that we learned in class today so that we can remember how to rewrite. So if I have the n root of a number, we're going to call that number a, raised to the m power, then I have a to the m over n. Alright, so the number in the root goes in the bottom of the exponent. Alright, so let's take a look here. The fifth root of 14 to the fourth power. So 14 is my big number, and then in the exponent, the root goes on the bottom. So 4 over 5. The next one, negative 21, is my big number. So 7 is the root, so it goes in the bottom. So negative 21 to the 3 over 7 power. Number 3, x is my big one. 9 goes on the bottom because it's the root, so x to the 4/9 power. Now we're going to work the opposite direction. So whatever's in the denominator of the exponent goes in the root. So 7 goes in the root with 4 to the third power. Up here I have a negative exponent. Negative exponent means it needs to go in the denominator. So 1 over x to the positive 4/3 power. So 1 over 3 becomes the root because it's in the denominator to the 4th power. Number 6 also has a negative, so I'm going to rewrite it. 1 over 39 to the positive 4/7. So 1 over the 7th root of 39 to the 4th power. Alright, number 7 wants me to evaluate without using a calculator. So I'm always going to do what's inside first. The 5th root of 32, something times itself 5 times gives me 32. So what to the 5th power is 32? Alright, whatever that is going to go inside. So I like to start with 2. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is what? So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. So that number I'm looking for is 2, and then I'm going to raise it to the 4th power. 2 to the 4th power is 16. Alright, number 8, same idea. What to the 3rd power is 125? That's what the inside is telling me, or asking me. Something to the 3rd power. Alright, this is an odd number, so it's not going to be 2. So I'm going to try the next one. You can look at 3, you can look at 4, but 125 has a 5. So that's a good place to try starting. 5 times 5 is 25, times 5 is 125. So 5, and I'm going to square it, so 25. Okay, this last one, the 6th root of 64, is saying what to the 6th power equals 64? Alright, so let's try 2, because that's a good place to start. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32, times 2 is 64. So that works indeed. 2. Alright, number 10 tells me to evaluate using a calculator. So I'm going to put it into my calculator here. 241 raised to a fraction power. Alpha y equals 1 to get a fraction. 1/5 power equals 2.995. It asks me to round to 2 decimal places, which really 5 rounds the 9 to a 10, which rounds the 9 to a 10, which makes it close to 3. So 3. All right, number 11, negative 133 to the power of 1/3, negative 5.104, so negative 5.10. Number 12, the 7th root of negative 125. So I'm going to hit 7 in the calculator, and then I do math 5, gives me the 7th root of negative 215 is about negative 2.15 when I round it. 13, 14, and 15 also asked me to simplify without using a calculator. I find it easiest to rewrite it first in rational form, like the square root. So the number on the bottom is my root, cube root of 27. Then I'm going to raise it to the 2nd power. So what to the 3rd power equals 27? Well, 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. That's not it. 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. Perfect. So that gives me 3 squared. 3 squared is 9. Number 14. I'm going to rewrite it. This is the number on bottom goes in the root. The 5th root of negative 243. So what to the 5th power is negative 243? In order to get a negative, my number that I'm looking for has to be negative. So to the 5th power, I could do negative 2, but negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is negative 32. That's too small. So let's try the next one, negative 3. Negative 3 times itself 5 times. Negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. Negative 3, or negative 9 times 3 is negative 27. Negative 27 times 3 is negative 81. Negative 81 times 3 is in fact 243. So negative 3 5 times is negative 243. All right, the last one, 4th root of 16 to the negative 3 power. To get rid of that negative 3 power, I'm going to put it in the bottom of a fraction. 1 over the 4th root of 16 to the 3rd power. So what to the 4th power is 16? 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So that's 2. So 1 over 2 cubed. Replaced the 4th root of 16 with 2. And 2 cubed, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So my answer is 1/8.